ఏదో ఇనిషియలైజేషన్ అనేది ఉందంట కదా నాకు అదొకసారి చెప్పు ఏపీఐ ఫంక్షన్ గ్లైడెకర్లో.
ఇనిషియలైజ్ so yesterday we have learned about like GlideRecord, so how to get the data using GlideRecord. We'll know like how we can update or insert the records using GlideRecord, and then we can take few more examples. Let me open background script. So for example, this is the incident. So let's get the problem field here, related problems. So each incident will be linked to the problem if there is any problem assigned to it. Okay. So let me open this problem. So to this incident, one problem has been attached. Okay. For others, there are no problems has been attached. Okay. So I want to attach problems to these incidents based on certain conditions. For example, let me open any problem. Okay. So it is SAP outage. Okay. Configuration item is SAP Enterprise, and in this it is SAP Sales and Distribution. So what I'll do is I'll check if the problems configuration item and incident configuration item matches, then I'll link those. If it is not linked, okay. So first I need to link these incidents to a related problem. So I want to link all the incidents to a problem which are whose configuration item is same. Okay. For example, if I open any, like for example, if I open my desk phone, not this one. Okay. For this, there is no configuration item. Let me open one. This is a configuration item. So we don't have much data, but let's see if we can find anything. Well, we have with email here, and on the incident, do we have any data with the email? Its configuration item is email. So there is no matching data we have as of now. So let's what we can do is let's at least check for if any of the short descriptions are matching or not. We need proper example, then only we can do something. Okay. Otherwise, what we'll do? Okay, for example, we have there is one problem and there are some child incidents. Okay, so we need until and unless those are resolved or closed, we shouldn't be able to close this particular incident. Okay, that is our requirement. For example, we have this problem. Okay, if you load related list, we have few of the incidents here. Okay, until and unless all these incidents on this particular problem gets resolved, we shouldn't close this. Okay, so generally this will be coming under business rules, but in business rules and script includes only we use this GlideRecord mostly. Okay, so I'll directly tell you about business rule, then I can like actually tell about what is business rule later. But for now, I'll be writing a business rule where I don't want anyone to close this. Okay, until and unless all these incidents which are under this problem or like either it should be closed, cancelled or resolved. Okay, all these incidents should be either closed, cancelled or resolved, then only we should be able to close this incident. Okay, so whenever we close this, how we will do it? So we'll be clicking on a UI action or updating the state. Okay. So here the state updation directly doesn't give you the access, but like for example, now it is in root cause analysis. Okay. So then we have to click few UI actions in order to like make it close. Okay, let me check. So whenever we click on this accept risk, it's getting closed. Okay, so so before it gets closed, we want it to be all these states should be either resolved or closed or cancelled. Okay, so whenever let's go to the business rules. Okay, under the system definition, we have business rule. So I have to create a new business rule. Okay, so here what I want to do, I don't want this problem to be closed. I want to stop this from happening. Okay, so only I can stop it from happening only from before business rules. Okay, so I need to click on advanced. So before updation, I want to like before it actually gets updated in the database, I want to do some operation. So what I want to do, I want to check all the incidents are resolved or cancelled or not, and then I want to like first let me give the name and table. So as we are doing some operation on the problem record. Okay, we are clicking something on problem record. So the updation is happening on the problem record. So we have to write the business rule on the problem itself. Okay. So whenever any updation happens on the problem record, this particular business rule will be running. So when we want to run this, whenever the state changes to close. So there is a difference between ease and close changes to. So whenever you keep state is closed, what will happening? If someone updates, like for example, we are on problem, the state is root cause analysis. Like if I keep the condition as state is root cause analysis and I update something like description and save it, that business rule will get trigger. But I don't want every time it to be get triggered, only when it gets changes to. Okay, so in that's why we have to write it changes for the first time only, like whenever it changes to closed or resolved. Okay. So I want all the incidents to be first. Let me save it and then let me write some script. Okay. So first we need to get all the incidents under it. Okay. So if you check here, all these incidents are getting mapped via problem. Okay. So if I right click and open a new tab, so this is the incident table and all these incidents are linked via problem. Okay. So first I need to get all these incidents and check all the states. Okay. So first I need to write some script in order to get these incidents and check whether this particular incidents are in resolved or cancelled or closed state. Okay. So first I need to glide this incident record and give the condition as problem is this, and then check each of the state whether it is in resolved or anything like resolved or closed or cancelled. Okay. So first I need to let me get this here. First I need to glide the incident table. So I'm gliding incident table and condition is, how will you give the condition is incident dot add query we can use, or if you have encoded query we can directly give the encoded query. Now I'll be using add query. So in this add query, if you check, there are two parameters, one is name and one is value. Okay, name is the field name and value is what value it should hold. Okay, here the field name is problem and value is this. So if I copy this query, okay, if I copy this query and put it in notepad, so here problem ID is the field name and this is the sysID of the problem record. Okay, as this is a reference record, it will hold the sysID only. Okay, if you check the problem, the sysID is starts with D796D, right? So it is the same sysID. Okay. So field name is problem ID and the value is sysID of current problem record. Okay. So the field name is problem ID on the incident and sysID is the problem sysID. So we are on the problem table. Okay. So if you check here, there is some out of the box code has been written. We are writing the code inside that. Okay. So here it is providing current and previous objects. So what is current object is? Current object is current problem record where this condition is getting matched. Okay. So as of now, we are considering one problem record. So for us, this is the problem record which whenever we are trying to close it, this will get triggered. Okay. So here we have to get the current sysID. Okay, where problem sysID is current dot sys underscore id is a field name. Okay, we can get like this, or even we can use get unique value. Okay, so get unique value will return the sysID. Okay, generally it will return the sysID of any of the record, or if you are confused with this, you can even use dot sysID. Okay, so it will return the sysID for us. So we have to give the value. So after giving the value, this is the query, and we have to pass the query so that it will run. Okay, then we have multiple records here. Okay, so even one of them is either resolved or closed or cancelled, we have to uh, stop this transaction. Like we should throw an error, and we should not allow them to close. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to check while incident.gr.next. Incident.gr.next. So here we need to get the state of the incident. Okay, so we'll get each incident one by one. So where state is ncgr.state. Okay, so let's check in this particular any of the incident table. We have to get what is resolved and what is, for example, we have to get what is the backend value. We can get like this, or I'll tell you another way as well. So sysID, it should all should be resolved, closed or cancelled. Okay, so if I run this, copy query, so state should be one of 6, 7, 8, which is resolved, closed, cancelled. Okay, so it should be, so what I need to check here is if state is not 6, 7, 8, I need to like I need to abort this action, means I need to throw some error, right? So what I'll do here, I'll check the state. Okay, I'll check each of those states. If state is equals to 6, okay, if it is 6, and okay, if it is 6 or 7 or 8, I need to go ahead and check for others. Or if it is not 6 or 7 or 8, then what I need to do, I need to like stop this transaction. Okay, so what I will do, if it is 6 or 8 is 7 or 8 is 8, so it will continue. Otherwise, else I need to stop this transaction. Okay, stop this transaction means in before business rule, in order to like restrict any transaction, like we don't want to close. Okay, then what we'll use, current dot set about action is the function which we'll use. Okay, current dot set abort action. So it will stop this transaction, means it will not allow us to close, and I want to add some error message. So in order to add error message in the server side script, we will be using GS. GS means glide system. Okay, under GS we will be having several functions, like how we will be having for the glide form. Similarly, we will be having add error message, add info message, some date related functions. Okay, gs.get user and get display name, get user ID. All this in the server side, if you want to get, we'll be using glide system. So business rule is a server side script. Okay, has role, gs.info is for logging, has role is it will check whether user has role or not. Okay, so now we want to add error message. So let's say please resolve, close or cancel the incidents in order to close the problem. Okay, so everyone is everyone got this what we are trying to do here? So what we are checking is we are on this problem record. Okay, I wrote a business rule. Okay, and what I'm doing before it gets changes to closed or cancelled, I want to stop this transaction if state is like if state is 6 or 7 or 8, it's okay. But if it is not one of them, then I want to stop this transaction. Set abort action. I need to use for true here. Set abort action means I want to abort this particular updation. Okay, it will abort that. Okay, so instead of writing if else like this, what we can do, I'll just copy this, and so I'll add one more bracket here. So if it is not, so if either it is 6 or 7 or 8, like if it is 6 or 7 or 8, it will return true. Like if it is not, it will return false, right? Then I want to run this particular transaction. Okay, so I have given not here. Why I have given not here? If it is resolved or if it is resolved or closed or cancelled, I don't want to run this. Okay, as I don't want to run this, I have kept not here. Okay, so if for example in progress is the state of the incident, so what will be the state? State will be 3. Okay, as 3 it won't match anything, so it will return false. False of not is true, right? So then this particular condition has been I have wrote. Okay, it is the similar code, but we can write even like this. Same code we can write in multiple ways, but as of now I have written like this. Okay, so let's open that problem record and let's try to close it. So I'm trying to close it. I'm trying to close this state. So it is saying please resolve, close or cancel the incidents in order to close the problem. Okay, so I'm getting that error here if I try to update it. Okay, why I'm getting? Because I have written a business rule which will check if it is any one of them is in like any other state apart from resolved or closed or cancelled. Is everyone got, or is there any doubts? Hello?
No.
Is there any doubts for anyone?
అంటే ఫస్ట్ ఇన్సిడెంట్ ని చెక్ చేసుకొని స్క్రిప్ట్ రాస్తున్నాను నేను.
So our requirement is we don't want problem to be closed until and unless all the related incidents are closed, resolved or cancelled. Okay. So our problem statement, we have to understand our problem statement is, our requirement is all these has to be either of resolved or closed or cancelled. So before updating it to closed, we want to check whether all of these incidents are resolved or closed or cancelled. Okay. So
Okay.
how this particular incidents are linked with this problem? So if you check here, this problem is current problem, right? So the query is, we have already checked. So we have to get all these incidents. How will we get all these incidents? We have to glide incident record. So I have glide the incident record and added the query. What is the query? Problem ID is the current problem sysid. So current problem sysid I got using current.sysid is problem sysid. And I have added the query. Okay. So here I am using while loop because I am expecting more than one record. Okay. So if it is 6 or 7 or 8, that means it is resolved or closed or cancelled. I don't want to do anything. So if it returns true, it will do false. So it won't do anything. So it will go for the next. If it is resolved or closed or cancelled, it will go for next. But if any one of them is in progress or new or any other state or on hold, then it will become false. False of not is true. So as if statement gets true, this particular block of code will be running, which will show the error message showing please resolve, close or cancel in order to close the problem. Okay. So then we are aborting it to not to like abort. We have written set abort action to true. That means we don't want to close. Okay. Any other doubt? Like is everyone able to understand or any other doubt?
అన్న ఇప్పుడు 8th లైన్ లో ఈ పక్కన
Can you speak in English?
in 8th line beside of if there are exclamation mark, right?
Yes.
What need for it?
So what is our requirement? Okay. State is resolved, closed or cancelled. Okay. Will act. So if incident state is resolved or closed or cancelled, that means if state equals to 6, that means resolved or closed or cancelled. So if it is resolved or closed or cancelled, this particular block of code which is in this brackets, it will be returning true, right? So if it is resolved or closed or cancelled, we don't want to abort this. Okay. We don't want to like we don't want to we want to close that particular problem. But if it is not one of them, if it is not one of resolved or closed or cancelled, then only we want to abort, right? So here exactly what we did here is the not condition. Okay. Not resolved, not closed and not cancelled, then only we want to abort this. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the not condition, which means if like in this bracket, if it is true, it will be like it will be doing false. This not okay. So if
Okay.
it is resolved or closed or cancelled, that means uh, like if like an incident is resolved or closed or cancelled, it will return true. This particular bracket. Okay. So this not will apply false. So as this became false, if condition became false, we won't run this. Okay. So
Hmm.
even we want that. If it is resolved or closed or cancelled, we don't want to show this error message. Like if it is in
Okay.
any other than these, like resolved or closed or cancelled, like in progress or new, like that,
Hmm.
then what this particular bracket will return? It will return false. Okay, it is in progress, it will return false, and not of false is true. So as this particular if condition became true, we'll run this. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So
One thing, instead of exclamation mark, we can use not equal to, like that. State equal to
even you
not
can
equal to.
write the same condition
Hmm.
like differently as well. Okay, whenever you are applying not outside,
Hmm.
okay, this equal to become not equal to, and this or becomes and. Okay, either you
Hmm.
can write like that. Same condition, I'll change how I write. Okay, so we can write the condition in multiple ways. So what I want,
Okay.
state should not be
Yeah.
okay. State is not 6, and then state is not 7.
Hmm.
So here R is becoming and okay. That means so now check. So this will also do the same thing. So here what
Hmm.
we are checking, state is not 6 and state is not 7 and state is not 8. That means for example we got in progress. So in
Hmm.
progress state is 3. 3 is not equals to 6 true. 3 is not equals to 7 true and 3 is not 8 true.
Hmm.
So true and true and true is true. So,
Hmm.
so if it is in progress, it will be aborting this particular action. But if it is resolved, so resolved is 6 not equals to 6. That is a true statement. Okay. But 6 not equals to 6 is it will return false because 6 is equals to 6, right? So
Hmm.
as it is a false statement, it will return false. So
Hmm.
we won't run this. Okay.
Okay.
Same condition we can write like this as well. Okay.
Hmm.
But the before way which I wrote, so it was easy to like understand for me. So I wrote like this. So if you can understand this well, you can write like this.
Okay. Okay.
Any other doubts in this particular code?
I think this is not working. Like you put in undone condition, so that is not possible for
I
this
didn't
one.
get you.
In the eighth line, you put it in undone condition. Most of the things not match, like not met this condition. Or you can put RR, it will work.
No, no, like actually, for example, current incident is in progress.
Hmm.
So in progress state, let's assume it's 3.
Hmm.
Okay. So if it is in progress, we want this particular error to be visible, right?
Hmm.
So is 3 equal to 6? No, right? 3 not equals to 6. 3 is not equals to 6. So that is a true statement. So it will return true. And 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 means
Hmm.
so whenever we are using and in between, every statement needs to be true in order to run the statements in this particular block of code.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Hmm.
So 3 is not equals to true, true, true. So here we got true and 3 is not equals to 7, true. And 3 is not equals to 8. So all these are true. So the if statement will become true.
Hmm.
Okay. So as it became true, then we show this error message. Okay.
Okay.
So particular or and condition like get removes whenever you are using not. Okay.
Hmm.
The same condition which I wrote and this are equal. Okay. At
Okay.
that time I have used or because first I was checking whether it is resolved or closed or cancelled, and then I was applying not. Okay, because I don't want to about that if it is resolved or closed or cancelled.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, even you can check if it is working or not. Okay,
Okay.
let me refresh it. If I click on accept risk, it is trying to change the state to closed. I click on OK. Please resolve, close or cancel the incidents in order to close the problem. Okay. So why? Because it is getting the status in progress. So if we close or resolve or all this, then it will close. Okay, we'll check that thing as well. Okay. So if I resolve it, so it's asking for resolution notes. So we have to open each of the incident and give the resolution notes and close notes. Then only it will close. Okay. Let me open another problem. So this problem is there. Let's check if there are any incidents. So there are no incidents. I want to add incident. So I have added one incident and this is in progress. Okay. So, so it is trying to close, but it won't allow. As we know that it is in progress, it won't allow. So I need to resolve or close this incident. Okay. So I want to resolve this. So for this, it is the mandatory thing. So it has been, the incident has been resolved now, state. Okay. So if I try to accept this phrase, and click on OK. Now it will be, it, it got resolved. Why? Because it's in resolved. Okay. Is everyone got or any other doubts? So let me give you like any other scenario, like where we have to update all the incidents with the same thing. For example, let me take one example where incident. So, so my requirement is I have to take the latest 10 incidents and update it. Like I have to update all those to to an assignment group. So my requirement is, for example, let me open incidents. Okay. So these are the incidents. So I want to take where assignment group is empty. Okay. So those are not assigned to any group. Okay. So assignment group is empty. So these are all the incidents. There are 22 incidents whose assignment group is empty. Okay. So like let's say there is a group. Let me open a group. So, so this group, so group name is monitor and assigned to like this particular group, what it will do, like L1 support something. Okay, this is the L1 support group, like which will be just checking all like whether those particular incidents or assigned to particular actual group or not. Okay, so this particular L1 support group I have created, and in this particular L1 support group I want to assign to few members. Okay, two members are for example these three are Samantha, Sam, and Devon. So these three are the group members. So, so whosoever incidents are assigned to empty, so I want them to by default assign it to this particular group. Okay. So this role, in order to access these incidents, those role will be ideal. They need at least ideal. So I am giving the role to them as ideal to this particular group. So if I give to this particular group, to all those users who are as part of this particular group, they will get ideal role. Okay. So every day I can't open the incidents and keep on changing those. Okay, keep on changing, keep on giving L1 support and ask them to give to the proper group. Okay. So I want to automate this. So generally the manager or the team leader, what he will do, he need to open this and give the L1 support like this. Okay. But every time whenever it gets, we can't do like this manually. So I want to automate this process. So I want to check automatically. It should check where if it assignment group is empty, by default it should get assigned to L1 support. Okay. So as it's a repetitive process, like we need to check for every 1 hour or every 15 minutes if it is empty or not. Okay. Every half an hour or every 1 hour, if it is empty or not, then I want to assign it to this L1 support group. Okay. So this we can use either schedule jobs or we can use flow designer. Okay. So first I'll tell you using flow designer. Then we can learn how we can use the same using schedule job. Okay. We don't have time, but we'll just continue. Okay. So like as it's a repetitive process, either we can use schedule job, which will be checking for every half an hour or 1 hour, like if, is there any records with the empty assignment groups, and then it will assign that particular group. The same thing we can even do using flow designer as well. Okay, let's check first using flow designer. So I want to create a new flow, assign This is assign unassigned incidents to L1 support. Again, it will do that. Okay. So I gave the flow name, and application as of now it is in global, let's assume. So I don't want to give read only. If we give read only, other users can't, like other application developers, or if it gets imported they can't edit it. So the protection is as of now none. So here we have run as. So run as is system user or user who initiated the session. So as it's a repeating action, I want to make it system user itself. So here we can select the trigger. So generally the trigger will be whenever, like generally in the business rule, whenever it's created or updated, then also we can trigger, but we want repeatedly. Okay. So do you want to repeat daily or weekly or monthly, or run once or repeat? So I want to repeat every 1 hour or half an hour. Okay. So let's say every 1 hour I want to repeat it. Every 1 hour I want to repeat it. Okay. Every 1 hour this particular job will repeat. So here we can add some actions. So in this flow designer, we can, in order to, so flow designer is something with with very less code we can do these particular jobs. Okay. So first I need to get all the incidents. Okay. So in order to get all the incidents, so we have few options. You can see lookup record and lookup records, right? So lookup record we will be using in order to get only one record. Update record we'll use to update any record. So as we will get multiple records, I am using lookup records. So lookup records. So which table you want to get all those records? So I want to get incident records. Okay. So that's why I gave incident. So do you want to give any conditions? So I don't want to get all the incidents. I want to get only if it is active equals to true. That means if it is inactive, it should not be closed or cancelled. That means it should be active equals to true, and assignment group is empty. Okay, assignment group is empty. Okay, this condition should match. Okay, so all those records will be getting in lookup records. Okay, so let's assume I got all those records. Okay, so now I need to update those records. Okay, so I want to update records. Let me check why it is not working. So I got some records and I want to update those records. So I want to update multiple records. Okay. So the table is incident. So here I do not have to use this lookup record, because whenever we update that, then only I can like generally how we do GlideRecord, then only I can directly update by giving the same condition. So I don't want lookup record as of now. So I'll just delete it and I'll give all the conditions here itself. Okay. So here condition is same, which is assignment group active equals true and assignment group is empty. and which field I want to update, which is assignment group to L1 support. Okay. So this is satisfying our needs. So let me delete this particular action. Okay. So here I have used update multiple records action, which is out of the box. Okay. We don't have to write GlideRecord and all in Flow Designers. So they have given some simple actions. Okay. So we want to update multiple records where this particular condition matches, and this particular trigger will run every 1 hour. Okay. So if I save it and activate, it will run. Okay. So for the first time, I want to check whether it's running properly or not. So we have 22 records whose assignment group is empty. So if I just give test here, this particular action will run. Okay. So if I just run this test, so I got some error, it seems. Operation against file incident was aborted as business rule abort changes group. Okay, so some business rule is stopping this particular. And let's check what is it stopping. Abort changes on group. Okay, so there is a business rule which is stopping it. Okay. So what they are doing is, when assignment is not empty and assignment group changes, assignment group is not empty. So assign to should not be empty, and assignment group is changes. So let's check what is the value of assigned to here. So here assignment group is empty, but here there are few users where it is assigned to few users, right? So the condition is, the business rule, what it is doing is, whenever the assigned to is not empty and assignment group changes, we shouldn't allow it. Okay. So we shouldn't allow it until and unless this user is as part of that particular group. Okay. So whenever, like if you check here, they are using set abort action. Okay. So they are allowing that particular incident to be assigned to that particular group. So only if this particular user is as part of that particular group. So for example, we are trying to assign to L1 support, but ITL user is not part of L1 support. So that's why it is not allowing. So either we have to keep a condition of assigned to is not empty, assigned to also should be empty, or we should add this user to that particular group. So as of now, let's add the condition of assigned to should also be empty. So then this particular business rule won't restrict us. Did you got why you are getting that particular error, or should I explain once again? Hello?
No, no, I got it.
Got it.
Hello?
Got it, Sam. Why it isn't?
Okay. So what I'll do, I don't want to check these. I want to check only even if assigned to also should be empty. Okay. So now let me check assigned to also should be empty. Okay. I want to check assigned to is also. Oh, why I'm not getting any records? Let me check. I guess this particular flow designer has been ran. Let me check. Just before there were 22 records, but there are only 11 records now. And who's assigned to is empty. Okay. Let me just check this flow designer execution. So as this particular flow designer got ran for multiple records, okay, even if we are getting this particular error, okay, as this particular flow designer will be running for each of these records, for these 11 records we are getting the error. Why we are getting the error is assigned to is something else. Okay, assigned to actually it should also be empty in order to update. Why? Because there is a business root. Okay, so but other records are got updated. That's why like other I'll show you other records which got updated. It should be L1 support recently. Let me check what is the assignment group. So these which are which got updated recently, it became updated. Other records whose are like empty and assigned to is not is something else. For those we are getting error, but other records got updated to L1 support whose assigned to is empty. Okay. So if you want to remove this particular error from this particular flow designer, we can keep a condition. Okay, we can keep a condition where assigned to is empty. So, if assignment group is empty and even like for example, let me add this particular let me remove this assigned to of this particular 4 users. Okay. So now if I run this particular flow designer, only this particular four incidents will get update because assigned to is empty and assignment group is also empty. Okay, so if I run this, and if you check, it has updated 4 records. Count is 4. Okay. So the advantage of this particular flow designer is we can check logs whether it's completed or not, whether how many records got updated. All these we can check here. Okay. So these particular 4 records will get removed from this 11 and we'll get 7 now. Okay. So the recently updated will be these. Okay. So this is using flow designer. The same thing we can do via schedule job as well. Okay. Using schedule job, I'll tell you tomorrow. Okay, how to do the same thing using schedule job. Okay.